Let's get real for a moment. One of the biggest lies we've been fed in modern life is that someone is coming, that someday, somehow, a person or a perfect moment is going to sweep in and change our circumstances, fix our wounds, clear the fog, and give us the life we dream of. But that moment never arrives, not because you're not worthy, not because life is against you, but because it's not how transformation actually works. Real change starts the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you. It begins when you take radical ownership of your life, and I mean radical, not partial, not convenient, not conditional, intellectually rich. Ownership that says, no matter how I got here, where I go next is on me. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. But Tony, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know what they did to me. You don't know what I lost. You're right, no. And I'm not here to dismiss your pain. I'm here to tell you that you can honor your pain without living in it, because pain is not your identity. Ownership is. See, most people confuse blame with responsibility, but those two things are not the same. Blame looks backward. Responsibility looks forward. Blame says, I'm stuck because of what they did. Responsibility says, I refuse to stay stuck because of what they did. Ownership isn't about denying injustice. It's about choosing not to let it define your next chapter. When you take ownership, you shift from being a passive participant in your own life to being the author of it. That shift, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, it changes everything. Your mindset, your energy, your decisions, they all begin to align with your agency, not your excuses. Think about it. What happens to a person who waits, they delay? They shrink. They give up their power to circumstances. But what happens to a person who owns? They act, they build, they grow. It's not about control, it's about command. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you do command how you respond, how you interpret, how you rise. Now, I want to be clear, this isn't about toxic positivity. This isn't about ignoring the very real struggles you're facing. It's about understanding that no breakthrough comes from victimhood. Victimhood may explain the story, but it can't write the future. Ownership can. The moment you stop saying, why me? And start asking, what now? And that's the pivot point. That's where power begins to return to your hands. You've got to stop waiting for clarity to show up like a lightning bolt. You get clarity by moving. You get strength by deciding. And you get momentum by owning everything that's within your reach, your thoughts, your time, your habits, your choices. Here's something you need to learn. No one owes you a rescue plan. Not your parents, not your partner, not your boss, not even the universe. And that's not bad news. That's actually the best news you'll ever get. Because the moment you stop expecting salvation, you start embodying transformation, you stop outsourcing your greatness, and you start developing it from within. I've coached thousands of people over the decades, CEOs, C-athletes, everyday people like you and me, and you know what separates the ones who rise from the ones who stay stuck? It's not talent, luck, it's not some magical set of circumstances. It's ownership, it's the people who say, I'm not waiting another year, another month, another minute. I'm stepping into the arena of my own life, ready or not. And look, you don't have to do it all at once. Ownership isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. Start with one area of your life, your health, your mindset, your money, your relationships. Ask yourself, where have I been waiting? Where have I given my power away? And what can I reclaim today? The smallest shift in ownership can create massive momentum. The truth is, you don't build confidence by reading about it. You build it by showing up for yourself when it's hard. You build it by doing what needs to be done, even when no one's watching, even when no one's clapping, even when you feel like quitting. Quitting, that's ownership. That's the foundation of every comeback story you've ever admired. Because let's face it, life is hard. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will knock you down. The world isn't always fair. But here's the thing, the world doesn't determine your outcome. You do. You can't control the weather, but you can build a better ship. But you can't predict the storm, but you can become the captain. It's easy to look around and say, they had it easier. They had help. But you don't know what someone else had to overcome behind closed doors. And even if they did have help, so what? You've got something better. You've got the power to decide, and the decision you make today could change every day after this one. When you finally get tired of waiting, tired of blaming, tired of wishing, it becomes the most powerful moment of your life. Because it means you're ready to stop surviving and start living. It means you're ready to become the hero, not just the wounded character in your story. So stop waiting. Stop watching, start owning. Everything changes when you do. You don't need anyone to give you permission. You don't need anyone to co-sign your worth. You don't need saving. You need strategy. You need belief. You need you. Here's what I want you to remember. Deep in your soul, no one is coming to save you. And that's your greatest advantage. Because now you're free to save yourself,